Welcome to the Deep Dive. We take your sources, dig in deep, and pull out the nuggets you need to know. Today, we're looking at something you probably see every day but maybe haven't thought much about, the global biscuits market. And trust me, it's way more than just cookies for a snack. It's this huge, really dynamic sector.
Absolutely. It's surprisingly complex.
So our mission today is, well, to unpack what's driving its pretty remarkable growth and also look at how it's adapting, region by region. Think of this as your shortcut to getting smart about this massive global market. So, okay, let's get into it. When we talk about the global biscuits market, just how big are we really talking? What's the scale?
Yeah, the scale is, well, it's fascinating. If you look back at 2021, the market was already worth $91.02 billion.
91 billion, okay.
But here's the thing, it's projected to pretty much double. They're forecasting $175.28 billion by 2033.
Wow, double.
Yeah, that's expanding at a compound annual growth rate, or CAGR, of 5.61%.
Okay, 5.61%.
Which, isn't just slow, steady growth. It really points to a pretty fundamental shift in global consumer habits.
Doubling in just over a decade for something as, well, established as a biscuit. That's quite something.
Yeah.
What are the core things driving that kind of growth globally?
Well, if we try and connect this to this sort of bigger picture, there are a few key trends really fueling it. First, you got rapid urbanization. More people living in cities,
Yeah.
right? Often less time to cook traditional meals.
Makes sense.
Second, snacking habits are just, well, evolving.
Hmm.
Convenient, ready-to-eat foods like biscuits are becoming more central to how people eat every day.
Right, the grab-and-go culture.
Exactly. And this isn't just a Western thing. We're seeing this huge appetite for convenience across both developed and emerging markets.
Yeah.
So that gives biscuits this really broad appeal, and it's driving super rapid innovation too. New flavors, different formats, packaging,
Yeah.
everything.
That really paints a picture of a market just adapting like crazy to modern life.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's the global trend. How does this actually play out when we, break it down by region? Where are things really hopping?
Okay, good question. Let's start with North America. Now, you might think of it as a mature market, and it is, but it's still showing really solid growth.
Mhm.
It's projected to go from about $26.21 billion in 2021 up to $48.18 billion by 2033.
Still significant growth then.
Definitely. The U.S. is the giant, no surprise, expected to hit $37.55 billion by 2033. But what's really interesting is the growth elsewhere in the region. Canada's looking at a 6.2% CAGR. Mexico's at 5.48%.
Higher than the global average, some of those.
Right. And it's not just volume. It really signals this growing appetite for healthier options, artisanal biscuits.
Yeah.
People are looking for quality, specialized stuff, even in staple foods.
Interesting how even the established markets are shifting. Okay, what about Europe? They've got such a history with biscuits. Are they sticking to tradition or are there new trends there too?
Europe's definitely a big player, historically and now. Sales were $17.2 billion back in 2021, and they're forecast to hit $31.36 billion by 2033.
Okay.
And while tradition is strong, what's really pushing growth in places like France, it's got a 5.71% CAGR, and Italy, 5.38%, is this strong demand for premium biscuits, organic, low-sugar varieties.
Ah, the health angle again.
Exactly. It suggests European consumers are really prioritizing quality and sort of wellness, maybe over just quantity, even for a classic treat. Germany, Russia, the UK are still key, naturally. But surprisingly, this rest of Europe segment, it shows a really strong 6.52% CGR.
Really?
Yeah, points to some burgeoning demand in Eastern European countries as well.
Okay, now here's where I suspect it gets really interesting. Asia Pacific. Whenever we talk global growth engines, that region pops up. Is that true for biscuits too, and what's driving it there?
Oh, absolutely. Asia Pacific is, without doubt, the clear growth engine for biscuits. It's projected to reach a massive $72.39 billion by 2033. That's up from $36.31 billion in 2021.
Huge jump.
Huge. And the leaders, India's got a 6.82% CAGR, Singapore's at 6.55%, and Southeast Asia overall is 6.39%.
So what's behind those numbers?
What's this powerful mix, really?
Yeah.
Increasing disposable income is a big one. People just have more money to spend. Then there's the growing influence of Western snacking habits. And critically, the spread of organized retail, like supermarkets, convenience stores.
Right. Access.
Exactly. More money, more exposure to different kinds of products, and easier ways to buy them in modern stores.
Yeah.
It just makes biscuits more accessible and, frankly, more desirable across the whole region.
That's a classic economic development story playing out in the biscuit aisle. Okay, what about South America? Is it a similar story of growth and maybe local twists?
South America is definitely another promising spot. It's projected to grow from about $6.19 billion in 2021 to nearly $13 billion by 2033, so again, more than doubling.
Right.
Argentina is a key driver, looking at a 7.04% CAGR. And the rest of South America segment is strong too, at 6.86%. What's really cool here is how local brands are innovating so fast. They're not just copying global trends. They're blending them with tropical flavors, focusing on health stuff tailored to local preferences. It's a really vibrant, localized response.
Love that local innovation angle. How does the Middle East fit into all this? Same drivers, or is something different shaping that market?
The Middle East is estimated to reach about $5.96 billion by 2033. The UAE is growing steadily at 5.41% CAGR. Growth there seems to be largely supported by, again, that demand for convenience foods, but also a really strong presence of imported biscuit brands that are easy to find in stores.
So more reliance on imports, maybe.
It seems like a strong factor, yeah. Availability in retail channels is key. Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Qatar are also important markets there. It's a region that values both convenience and that international variety.
Okay, and finally, Africa. This is often highlighted as a region with just immense potential across loads of sectors. How does the biscuit market look there? Is it uniquely positioned?
Africa is, well, it's genuinely astonishing in this context. It is the fastest growing region globally for biscuits, period.
Only fastest.
By far. The market is set to more than double, going from $1.55 billion in 2021 to $4.42 billion by 2033. That's a CAG of 9.85%.
Wow, almost double digits.
Almost. And get this, the rest of Africa segment, so outside the main players like Nigeria and South Africa, shows an incredible 10.1% CAGR.
10.1, that's huge.
This explosive growth. And the drivers. Manufacturers are really tapping into the continent's massive young and growing population, plus the rising demand for food in urban areas. It really shows how basic food products are right at the forefront of these big economic and demographic shifts. So, if we connect all these regional pieces back to the bigger picture, what really emerges are these clear overarching trends. You've got an industry adapting deeply to health preferences. You see incredibly dynamic local flavor innovations happening everywhere. And then there's just this ever-expanding access through more and more retail channels worldwide.
So what does this all mean for you listening? Well, it means the global biscuits market isn't some sleepy, predictable thing at all. It's incredibly dynamic. It's really poised for more success because it's constantly adapting. It reflects how consumers are changing everywhere, whether you want, an indulgent chocolate biscuit or some fiber-rich breakfast bar. It's happening in every corner of the world. It really hammers home how valuable knowledge is when you actually understand it and can apply it. Looking at all this, what really stands out to you from our deep dive today? Something to think about. Next time you grab a packet of biscuits, just pause for a second. Think about the journey those ingredients took. Think about the innovation packed into that simple product and the huge global forces that put it on that shelf. And it makes you wonder, doesn't it, what other seemingly simple, everyday things are secretly at the heart of some massive, evolving global industry that maybe we just haven't looked closely enough at yet. Oh. Okay, so today we're doing a deep dive into the global biscuits market. And you might think that sounds pretty simple, maybe even a bit boring.
Right. Biscuits.
Yeah. But our sources show it's actually, full of contradictions. Convenience versus health, old school tradition versus new ideas. It's way more dynamic than you'd probably guess.
That's absolutely right. Our job today is really to unpack all that. We'll pull out the key trends, what's driving the growth, but also some of the real challenges manufacturers face. We want to help you make sense of what's important here.
Okay, let's start with growth then. I mean, biscuits, really. With all the snack options out there now, what's really pushing this market forward?
Well, it really comes down to the huge demand for snacks that are just easy and portable.
Right, grab and go.
Exactly. Biscuits are perfect for that. They're affordable. They last ages, come in tons of varieties. They're everywhere, from city centers to, rural areas.
Okay.
But, and this is where it gets interesting, that convenience thing is running right alongside this other big trend, premiumization.
Ah, right. Making things fancier.
Sort of, yeah. But it's more about quality. Consumers are actively looking for biscuits made with, say, multigrain, oats, organic stuff, even superfoods.
So healthier options.
Healthier, yes, but it's more than just low sugar or high fiber, though that's definitely part of it. It's like consumers want their snacks to have a purpose, better ingredients. It's less of a guilty treat and more of maybe a permissible indulgence.
Permissible indulgence. I like that. That's a key shift. But for people to buy these premium options, they actually need to find them easily, right? That's where retail comes in.
Precisely. You've got the huge expansion of supermarkets, convenience stores, and especially online, mobile commerce, particularly in developing economies.
Mm.
It's just made everything so much more accessible.
Okay.
And brands are smart about it, too. They use special offer packs, bundles, really targeted digital ads to get those biscuits, even the premium ones, right in front of people.
That makes sense. But making things more accessible must also highlight some downsides, some challenges for the industry.
Oh, absolutely. A big one is the health issue with traditional biscuits. The ones high in sugar, salt, fat.
Yeah, the classics.
Right. And as people become more aware of things like obesity, related health problems, they are definitely starting to look for cleaner, healthier alternatives. It puts real pressure on the older brands to change their recipes or risk losing out.
Yeah, you definitely feel that shift. But is everyone moving that way, or are the cheaper, maybe less healthy options still holding strong somewhere? And what about cost? Our sources mention price is a huge factor.
It is, especially in the mass market segments. Price is often still the bottom line there. So new companies trying to break in, it's tough without deep pockets. And sometimes the big established players just cut prices to compete.
A price war, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And then you have the supply side issues on top of that.
Yeah.
Think about raw materials, wheat, palm oil, sugar. Their prices can swing wildly.
Right, that must cause headaches.
Huge headaches. Combine that with, well, all the global supply chain disruptions we've seen. It makes managing stock and production really complicated, especially if you're exporting or you're a medium-sized company.
Okay, so challenges are definitely there. But the
Yep.
industry isn't just sitting back, is it? We're seeing innovation. Like those functional biscuits, they caught my eye. They're not just a snack anymore.
Not at all. That's a perfect example. They're tuning snacks into something purposeful. Biscuits packed with extra protein, fiber, vitamins, minerals.
Right.
They're aimed squarely at people focused on health and fitness who want their food to actually do something positive for them.
And another thing that struck me was the localization. Brands getting really specific with flavors. That's more than just being culturally aware, isn't it?
Oh, much more. It's strategic. You see masala-flavored biscuits in India,
Yeah.
matcha in Japan, tropical fruit ones in Southeast Asia.
Okay.
It's about tapping into local tastes, creating an immediate connection. It helps brands break into these really diverse markets much faster.
And underlying a lot of this, it seems, is sustainability. That keeps coming up.
Definitely. Clean labels, meaning ingredients you recognize, recyclable packaging, knowing where the ingredients come from. That stuff really influences buying decisions now.
Especially for younger people.
Exactly. Younger demographics, particularly. Brands that are genuinely eco-conscious are building trust, building loyalty. It's becoming table stakes, really.
So wrapping this all up then, what's the big picture?
Well, the takeaway is, despite being, a very traditional product, the global biscuit market is changing fast. It's adapting to what modern consumers want: health, convenience, and sustainability. Those aren't just side notes anymore. They're right at the heart of it.
So here's something to think about next time you're maybe wandering down the snack aisle. How can you spot these changes playing out? And thinking about that localization, what totally new, maybe unexpected flavors might pop up next, perhaps even near you. Something to chew on.